One of the things that makes Charlie Russell such an important voice in his time, but in our era still today, is the respectful depictions that he would make of the Native American communities. He was so far ahead of his time in so many ways, and he was a friend to all, whether they were of the Blackfeet tribe or they owned a saloon downtown. Charlie Russell was destined to be the preeminent Western artist of his time and of our day and age. He was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, but always dreamed about being a cowboy and coming out west.
His fighting against formal schooling was legendary. And they had a horse-drawn wagon that would take him into the school. He would get off before they got to the school, take his books, put them under a bridge, and then go down to the docks and observe what was going on.
People were coming and going from the West and coming back with wonderful stories. When he was 15 years old, his parents finally relented and let him go out west. And thank goodness he also brought along his watercolor box with him. Women of America is such a special example of his works depicting Native Americans.
The part that amazes me was the willingness of C.M. Russell to engage with the Native American Indigenous people in Montana. He sought them out in their way of life. He didn't stand in judgment. I think he just observed. He seen what was happening, and he had a way of putting that down on paper, because even in many of his paintings where there is violence and there is fighting, you can still see the respect in those paintings. It was never meant to demean that particular person or that activity in any way.
Women of America really is the culmination of a long life and career in living in the West and depicting the West for all of us. It's such a special piece for so many reasons. For one, the scale. A 20-inch by 30-inch watercolor is one of the largest in his repertoire. Charlie created it toward the end of his life in 1924. At this point in Charlie's career, he really could do whatever he wanted. He was getting a lot of commission work. So Charlie was pretty picky and choosy about what was coming off of his easel.
I think it's a very respectful painting, and it's painted with fact, because that's how they traveled.
His cleverness is he's got these Indian women moving, but he has just enough of them rounding this hillside that you're wondering, oh, how many more are coming? And by having that come to the viewer, you really end up spending serious time saying, well, what else is it telling me? As it turns out, there's a whole lot.
They don't look like they're in any rush. They don't look like they're hurried. They look like they are just in the moment of what they've just came from because of the ceremonial paint that they have on. There's a young Indigenous woman, and she's leading it, and the rest of the group of people are behind them. There's an elder woman in the painting off to her right. She has shared her wisdom with that young person as they are moving their camp. I think what this painting says for women today is that women from the beginning of time are the ones that have always been the leaders. There is a saying out there that the woman that rocks the cradle will rule the world, and that's really, really true.
Women of America is and has been held in private hands for quite some time. It's very, very rare that a work of this caliber comes up for auction, and we're so thrilled to be able to present it to our audiences.
I don't think there'll be another one for somebody who wants to have the declarative artistic statement by Charles Russell on women of America sustaining that Plains Indian buffalo culture.
I believe that the people of today could learn from Charlie Russell. He, in my opinion, has shown that it doesn't take much to be a kind human being. It only takes enough time to want to engage with him. I just think that what the C.M. Russell Museum is now attempting to do to engage with the Native American Indigenous people of Montana and bring in more of their talent, more of their knowledge, more of the wisdom that they have to share. I think we all benefit from that. And going forward, it'll be there for generations to come.